Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Hello and welcome back, Impactful Engineers. Here on the show, we talk about your engineering career and how to grow it successfully. We want to be more than just the average engineer. We want to be impactful. All right. Usually we have Steve and I on the episode, bringing up a topic, discussing it in depth, trying to help people see the things that we've seen that have helped others and ourselves excel in our careers and be more impactful. Sometimes we have guests on. They bring a particular expertise or message that is helpful to you or that we think will be helpful. And sometimes we do solo episodes, which is what I'm going to do today. So what I'm going to talk with you about today is how to prepare for the next role, your next engineering role, during and working your current role. All right, so what I think you'll get out of it today is I'll give you my download on how to prepare for the next role while still crushing your current role, so that when you ultimately take the next role, you are already doing the things required. You'll simply be thanking your boss for the title and salary increase you already deserved and immediately get started on mastering the next role. So that's the goal today. Does that sound good? Awesome. First off, realize that you are a piece of the puzzle to the person above you doing their job better and freeing up more of their time to do the things they need to do for their next role. This is constantly moving. You're a piece of this puzzle. People below you and people above you and people around you. Everyone's working on this all the time. It's fluid. You can either be a part of it, or you can let it control you, or you can completely ignore it and just hope for the best. I think as impactful engineers, we probably want to know a little bit about how do we participate. So I'll try to help you out today. So really think about how you fit. This means that part of your job to do the things, is doing the things necessary to help your boss do their job better. That's one. And what it really means is that you're training yourself for the next role. Okay, because if you're helping your boss do their things more efficiently, you're really going to be helping yourself and the entire organization. All right, so how do we do this? Well, I'll share a tactic with you. So pay attention to the things your boss cares about and what challenges them. Right? What are they specifically responsible for? So if you have one-on-ones with them, you can ask them questions about it. Ask them how their week is going. You can even look at their calendar, see what they have on their schedule. What do they spend most of their time doing? Who are they talking to? You can talk to others at their level and ask them what their main duties are and what tasks or knowledge is required to do their job. And you can simply pay attention to the example they are setting for you. Right? So they'll be doing things and taking action that should be setting a good example for the others around them if they're a great leader. And you can pick up on that and start emulating that and doing that yourself. Right? You could also, dare I say, just ask them what you could produce for them on a regular basis that would make their job easier. Simply communicate it. What are the recurring things they need which you could tackle to support them in their role? All right, so let me give you an example from my personal experience. I have a boss. It's the director of engineering. And they do a couple of things routinely that I can help them with. Or there's a couple of things that they do, or there's a couple of things which requires information from me or others, or that they have to go searching for and get. That's a repeating process that they have to do and spend a little bit of effort on from time to time, right? So I'll give you some examples. One, this director, right? He reports financial status of projects to the regional manager. Probably a pretty typical task that a director of engineering is going to have when reporting to the regional manager on how well the business is going based on the one lever that is, how are we doing on our projects? Now I could say to my boss, well, don't we have accounting for that? Couldn't you go look up the job numbers, run the reports in our software, ask the accounting people, etc.? Right? Couldn't he develop something to do that? Well, this is an opportunity for me to help him with the role that I play in reporting on these projects. So instead of doing that, I could keep a running log weekly of the status of my projects, show all the relevant data he needs to report effectively to the regional manager. And by the way, I'm going to say, when you get these project reports, what's the most important information that you need displayed in a very concise and clear manner to make your job easier in compiling the information and then reporting it to the regional manager? What could I do is basically what I'm saying. What could I do to hit those points better for you so that you don't have to dig around and create your own summary? I could just give you the summary, right? So that's what I did. It takes a while at first because it was a new thing that I hadn't had on my plate. It's not that it's complicated. It's just how do we report things? Who should I ask from accounting to get this information? Can I set up a weekly report that I receive automatically from accounting telling me how all my projects are doing? And the answer was yes, right? So I did all these things and it took a little while and took some effort, but now I've delegated the information gathering to accounting for the pertinent financial data on all the projects because I've asked the director what he wants to see, right? And then automated the process. So, I'm still trying to automate how to get it to look like what the director needs, but I'll solve that here pretty soon. So it took me 4 hours, 5 hours the first week I attempted to do it because I'm just trying to put and build a process. I'm trying to put things in place and build a process. Now it's a half an hour task or less. Now that I'm running it every week, it's like, oh, this is easy, depending on how much has changed in the projects and what has happened. Right, so now it's really easy for me to do it. I fully understand what goes into each project and what metrics we care about now, which is preparing me for a director role, if anything else, right? So this is what I'm talking about. So that's one example. Another one is the director wants to be involved in the co-op program that I'm running or that I'm spearheading. I want co-ops to be in the office every term. I want to be paying local college students to learn on the job and gain some experience. Know what an MEP engineering firm does, what software they use, why are we even here, where do we fit into the construction industry, all these things. Give them some learning so that when they go to enter the workforce, they're that much further ahead and they have that much more understanding. It's very important to me. So I have them in every term. And I try to maximize how many students I can hire every term. Now the director needs to know what's happening in that process, because ultimately they will tell me how many people I can hire for how long and what we pay them and all these things. And do we have the work to support them and all this stuff. So, and that makes the director a good guy. He wants to be involved. And in fact, he wants to know about these people. He wants to have some face-to-face time. He wants to know why I chose them over others in the interview process. He wants to be involved, which is great. So now I could say, well, all right, do whatever you got to do to be involved. I'm just going to be hiring and coordinating this thing. Or I could create a process, right, that makes his job easier. So I did. I created a process that outlines what to do from soliciting applications to all the way to the exit interviews that we do. It tells people, the people that will be hiring the co-ops, I'm not the only one that does this, right? I just spearhead the process. So it tells everyone when to get meetings on the director's calendar and at what stages of the process, what milestones, and why. So now the director, I made it easy for him to be involved and to weigh in on the process and get his questions asked. He's got meetings that automatically get set on his calendar in the appropriate time intervals with the appropriate time between milestones so that they can do what they want to do with the information, right? So there's constantly new faces coming in through all these co-ops that we hire. So I made it happen so that he doesn't have to ask every single time, right? The meetings are automatic, gets his voice in there. He meets the people, knows why I did the way I did. I provide a summary of who I interviewed and why I chose which ones, which people, right? And so I asked him what he cared about the most. And so that's the information I got, and that's what I'm addressing. All right. Okay. So just a couple examples. So we understand now, make your boss's life easier with the things they want to accomplish. Cool. Go do that. I highly recommend it. All right. There's a next level to this, though. When you bring focus on what your boss needs from you in order to make the job easier, you're not only giving yourself the skills to excel once you take their place, but you are developing the processes which you will use when you have direct reports, which will tell them what to do to accomplish the same thing, i.e., have them help you do your job better. You could help your boss with processes that make their job easier and help the version of yourself now when the future version of you is in that seat ahead. All right? I hope that makes sense. So you could actually be preparing for that role that you're going to take in the future now, like we said before, but also have all the processes already written and in place and well practiced to immediately start executing on them with whoever shows up working with you as your direct report. All right. So that's it. I encourage you to think along these lines. Shift your mindset just a little bit. You're not being a suck up or a teacher's pet here. You're tactically and proactively putting things in place that help you achieve the career growth that you desire while also helping the entire company grow. All right. You are exponentially increasing your skill set all the while supporting the whole. Most will just do the job given to them, right? Never thinking about this concept or pulling on that thread or going a little deeper or taking action on it. But that's not you. You aren't just another engineer. You're an impactful engineer.